Uma became a fighting machine.
Movies where chicks are kicking ass are really in nowadays.
This film is about justice and redemption.
It's phenomenal. It's classic Quentin.
I came up with the idea of doing a revenge movie with Uma, and it'd be a cool exploitation kind of thing, and she'd play an assassin, but not just an assassin, one of the deadliest women in the world. And she's been screwed over by the deadly vipers.
What seemed like the beginning of the movie to me is we were out with people from Pulp Fiction one night 10 years ago.
And I go, Uma, I've got the next movie for us. All right, so I just tell her, and it's called Kill Bill.
He was telling me about genre cinema with all the great power and enthusiasm and detail that this cinephile mind can produce, which is pretty extraordinary. And I started talking about this character I wanted to play and this name I wanted to call the character. And
for the next couple of weeks, we just proceeded to keep talking about Kill Bill in between takes and everything, sitting around talking about it and musing about it.
We kept going back and forth and spun this idea together of this assassin who tries to leave the business and get married. And
one of the things she was like, Quentin, what if the first time we see the bride, okay, she's beaten up, blood all over her face, but when we see her, she's wearing a bridal gown. All right, and that was when The Bride was born.
Then he went his way and did Jackie Brown and started writing his war epic, and I did whatever I did for 7 years. And about 3.5 years ago, I ran into him, and I've been out of touch with him, and
it was just so cool to see her. So it made me go into my drawer that I had those handwritten pages of Kill Bill again, and I yanked them out and read them and go, this is some funny shit, all right? This would be really good. So I put the war film aside, and then we would start the process of making the movie, and she got pregnant. I kind of just almost had to just consider recasting her for a week just so everyone else would think I wasn't crazy. I could never make a movie with anybody else. So here we are.
Quentin couldn't have written me a more challenging, sort of difficult part, because, I mean, she's sort of an enigma.
Just because I have no wish to murder you before the eyes of your daughter does not mean that parading her around in front of me is going to inspire sympathy.
She's hard-bitten, she's heartbroken. She's sort of somewhat a lean, mean killing machine.
Uma's Superwoman. You know, on top of all the, basic movements. She had to master Japanese swords and, a little bit of wire and Japanese language, and she worked night and day.
Quentin told me the main reason why he wanted to meet with me was because he was in the video store and he saw Two Can Play That Game sitting on the shelf. And he said that it stopped him, and he said, wow, I haven't seen Vivica since really Independence Day. And he went, there's my Vernita.
Vivica is a spitfire. That girl will give it to you. She is awesome. We loved her. She's just full of personality. And she's like, okay, here I am. I'm ready to go, boys. Let's do it.
I wanted something physical, and so the only thing I can say is be careful of what you ask for, because here comes Quentin.
The character wasn't going to be an American. She was going to be Japanese, full-on Japanese from Japan. But then a friend of mine named Moonsun was the biggest fan of Shanghai Noon. So down the line, because of Moonsun, I watched the movie. And I see Lucy Liu in it, and I think she is absolutely amazing in it.
I got a phone call from Quentin out of the blue. and he was just talking a mile a minute about everything, and he was really excited, and he was talking about the script that he had written, and he mentioned that there was a role that he was considering me for, and when I did get the script, I read it from beginning to end, and I was just so thrilled about it.
I decided Oren's not just going to be Japanese. She's going to be half Japanese, half Chinese, Asian American, and she's still going to rule the crime world in Tokyo. She will still be the queen of crime in Tokyo.
As your leader, I encourage you from time to time, and always in a respectful manner, to question my logic. If you're unconvinced a particular plan of action I've decided is the wisest, tell me so. But allow me to convince you, and I promise you right here and now, no subject will ever be taboo. Except, of course, the subject that was just under discussion.
ただ今問題になったことは除きますが
The price you pay for bringing up either my Chinese or American heritage as a negative is, I collect your fucking head.
Sonny Chiba was, to me, right up there in the 70s with Charles Bronson and Clint Eastwood as just one of the greatest action stars ever. And I've been wanting to work with Sonny since I was a little kid. And Sonny Chiba, one of his coolest things that he did amongst all these great movies is he had a TV show, all right, that I used to watch on the Japanese station in Los Angeles in the 80s. And the English title for the show was Shadow Warriors. All right, the Japanese title of the show was Kage no Gunda. And the way they do series in Japan are very different. They do a series for about like a year or a year and a half. And then when it's over with, it's over. Right, but if it's a success, it takes a year off, and then they do another bunch of episodes, and a year later, Kage no Gunda 2 appears. All right, and I think they went all the way up to 4 with Kage no Gunda. And each time